Let's welcome in the coach, Avery Johnson, to discuss what we saw on Sunday and what is to come. Let's start with the Celtics advancing past the Heat in Game 7, coach, to make it to their 22nd NBA Finals in franchise history. Back in January, this was a Celtics team that was in 11th place in the East with a losing record. Now they're here. How unlikely was a final appearance back then?
Well, it was very unlikely until Ime Udoka started having these real heart-to-heart conversations with his team, and the messaging was taken to the public. He wasn't just having some hard conversations with the Jason Tatums and the Jaylen Browns behind the scenes and his team. No, he took it public. You remember they had an embarrassing loss at Washington back then when he said after shoot-around, they're not ready to play. They had a significant and more embarrassing loss at home to the Portland Trail Blazers when they surrendered a significant lead at home. And he said Jason Tatum needs to play with more toughness and more heart and more intentionality. So you got to give Ime Udoka credit, along with the support of the president of basketball operations, Brad Stevens, that he had this type of connectivity. He wasn't afraid to say what it was going to take. And he specifically called guys out. And fortunately, they responded.
All right, let's talk about Golden State. They open up as the betting favorite to win the series, minus 160. Boston plus 140. So when you look at the two teams now in the finals, how do they stack up against one another for you?
Man, this is a very close matchup, especially because of the guys at the wing positions. You look at Tatum and Brown. You look at Klay Thompson, and you look at Wiggins. You look at the bench, guy Jordan Poole coming off the bench. But also, Steph Curry and Jason Tatum, just as superstars. The way they both can create their own shot, get separation. I think the biggest difference in this series is going to be the Warriors' experience and how the Warriors are going to play better, I believe, in close games. You look at that 13-point lead that the Celtics had with a little over 3 minutes to go against Miami. They could have very well lost that game. That would have been one of the biggest catastrophes in basketball in NBA history. So I think that's why I'm leaning a little bit more towards Golden State, because of their experience. And then Draymond Green, his leadership historically for the Warriors on our national team last summer. I know Kevin Durant got all the credit, but in talking to Greg Popovich, Draymond Green's leadership put them over the top. So I don't see quite the depth of that type of championship leadership. Sure, Al Horford, Marcus Smart are leaders, but I just think the Warriors have more of a complete package.
Game 1 Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Coach, is there a particular matchup or matchups that you're going to be watching in this series in particular?
Yeah, when I look at this matchup, just from a defensive standpoint, the way Wiggins defended Luka Doncic, now he's going to be matched up with Jason Tatum. That's going to be a fun matchup to watch, to see if Wiggins can slow down Tatum, because if Wiggins can slow down Tatum, even with the offense that Wiggins provide, that's going to be a huge win for Golden State. And again, with Wiggins, he's a different kind of defender than PJ Tucker and even Jimmy Butler. I think he's a better defender than both of those guys because of his length, his athleticism. I think I'm really looking to see, can they force Jason Tatum into more of those 6 turnover quarters as he had a couple of times against Miami, and can they hold him under his scoring average and maybe make him play some inefficient basketball. So that's the matchup that I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, Coach, give us a pick to win for you.
Golden State. I'm taking the Warriors. This team has so many different levels offensively. When you look at Boston, all of the teams that they've played in the playoffs, the Bucks, Miami, this juggernaut of an offense, they're just not your traditional pick and roll isolation team on offense. You have all 5 guys can pass, dribble, and shoot. When they play that smaller lineup, when Draymond Green is at 5, man, it's incredible. Then you have size. You can go to Looney. Jordan Poole basically is taking over in a mini Kevin Durant role when Kevin Durant, the way he's shooting the ball and can create his own shot. Too many weapons. Boston, they haven't seen this type of offensive efficiency. And you got guys, the best shooting backcourt in the history of the game, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Those guys can make 8 threes apiece in their sleep. So I just think I'm going with the Warriors. Too much offensive firepower for the Boston Celtics.
Installed as -160 favorites, that number already moving, -155. The Celtics at +135. So let's talk about Finals MVP. Earlier in the conversation, earlier in the program, we were talking about these MVPs, the favorites. There you have Steph, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, the top 3. When you look at this, who for you is the Finals MVP, do you think?
Yeah, definitely Steph Curry. I think he wants to cement himself as a top 10 player in the NBA. He's gotten an MVP in the regular season twice, but he's never been Finals MVP. And obviously Kevin Durant had a lot to do with that. And Andre Iguodala doing the first championship run. But I think it's Steph Curry. I would say in the sort of the same way Andrew Wiggins was Andre Iguodala. I think if he plays exceptional defense and scores, 7 or 8 points above his scoring average, maybe he'll have something to say about it. But I'm definitely going with Steph Curry to win MVP in this NBA Finals.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.